Hello everyone. I would like to present a project that is not made for humans. Well, that is not for the humans that we are, but for the ones that we one day hopefully will become. I work at a place we call Rumtiden. That means space-time in Swedish. We're 10 people working there and even more people working with us from other places. We work with art, music, technology, programming, film, events, apps, interactive installations for museums, science centers, public spaces, urban planning, architecture, robots, AI, VR, and games. In most of our projects, we combine many of these skills into new concepts. Almost every time we make a project is for the first time. We basically only make prototypes, but we make very good prototypes, different. We try to solve problems with new ideas. This is the Rubik's Cube sequencer. Each color represents a musical instrument. A camera maps this 16 by 16 grid and reads the color in each position. So it becomes a very difficult instrument to program, as every single change, every twist affects everything else on the cube. So you have to think in 3D. We scaled up the cubes to make a giant collaborative musical instrument, to make music interaction more physical and very strange. This music game works like the first puzzle that we get, where we put the block with the right shape in the right hole, so that children, only a few months old, can create complex algorithmic music, or these cubes that generate big fundamental questions about humanity and the future, and where each clause of the questions control a musical instrument. Another game where you compose melodies but also animations of corresponding light. And by leveling up, you can explore hundreds of new combinations of music and light. This is a music game for virtual reality. You're surrounded by music files that you can mix, loop and manipulate in real time, and creating music becomes very different. Play tennis with rays of light with your feet. When you level up, you have to play with 2 and then 3 rays at the same time. This game works with a polarized film inside each piece. So the animation on the board, which is a screen, are invisible until you put a piece on a square. The animation changes directions synchronized with music, so the board decides different moving properties of each piece in every position. This is a game where the cards are pieces and board at the same time, where the gray pieces belong to both you and your opponent. The patterns explain how they may move in relation to their current position. This is a game and a music instrument for iPad. It's something like playing chess on ice. The pieces are in constant motion, so melodies, rhythm and timing becomes a very important part of this strategy. So all these projects combine games with something else, and they force the players to non-linear thinking. The Glass Bead game is a novel by Hermann Hesse, and in this book you find this future very complex game where some sort of future intellectual priests play with art and philosophy and music and mathematics. It's not clear exactly how this game works, but the idea is really interesting, that a game can be more than a game, and the players can be much smarter than we are today. So from here came the idea to make a very complex musical instrument and a very complex strategic board game that is the same thing at the same time. But then who could possibly play this? Instead of waiting for the future to come, waiting for us humans to evolve, we have created a project that is too complex for us to fully handle today, but it can inspire us about the future. Right now, we humans evolve faster than anything on Earth has evolved, ever. We are globally connected, merging with technology, totally changing the face of our planet, and about to learn how to control evolution. So then, what is our vision? What kind of world do we want? Who do we want to be? When you play our game, think about what the future human might be capable of. Like in that novel by Hermann Hesse, I think that we will be capable of creating complex, multi-dimensional music together and at the same time play a strategic board game where the rules change by every move. So, let me explain how it works. First, the musical instrument. One part is a sequencer, where you program the melodies and rhythms. The x-axis marks where you want the tone, and the y-axis marks the key, high or low. Most sequencers are linear. They go from left to right, and then it repeats. But this sequencer flips between 4 different directions. So if you put a block with the sequencer side up, it will play 4 different notes through the cycle. And the blocks actually have 3 different sides, saying sequencer 1, 2 and 3, because it's playing 3 layers of sequencers. One for rhythm, one for bass, one for melodies. Then, how the sound is produced. Most synthesizers has a fixed signal flow from sound generator to modulation to effect and then out. But this synthesizer has a totally open architecture. Any function can be connected to any other function. Put a block with a matrix side up in a position where 2 functions meet. For example, LFO, low frequency oscillator, which is a slow modulating signal. Connect that with a pitch and you get a slow vibrato. Twist the cube for different values. And then the game. Most strategic board games are for 2 players, black and white. But this game is for 4 players in different shades of grey. Playing against each other or creating pacts or breaking pacts. In most games, the pieces have fixed properties, like in chess. The pieces can move in different ways, but they stay the same. In this game, in every move, each piece can change into 24 different ways of moving. Like this. Starting from the middle, the pattern tells that this piece can move to any of these positions. This piece can move to these positions. If we twist it, it can move here. The topic of this game is, of course, to take all your opponent's pieces. No living person today can possibly master this game, and at the same time control the musical composition. But we evolve, and one day the future human might be able to fully master the Mathrix game. So until then, good luck.